the Gauntlet. Let's go.
If you smell what the Gauntlet is cooking.
Okay, now we're on. Okay. Well, I think I'm being messed with here. Anyway, action, we here, you know what I mean? It's the Gauntlet. And I think I'm being played with, man. I'm coming on and off the screen. It's your boy Denzel.
Okay, I really don't know what's going on right now, because I'm not touching nothing. So go ahead.
Okay, all right, now I'm here. Okay, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties for that first moment. I don't know what was going on, but we're here, y'all, and it is the Gauntlet, and it is another Friday night, and we are here and we are live. And I'm here, Denzel Snipes, and with the CEO of Gauntlet Business Incorporated, Mr. Philly Jim. He's live in full effect, and also coming in all the way live from DC to C is your boy, the Ravens aficionado, JJ Jenkins. Let's go.
I got
Me
the
and JJ
cross
tied last weekend on our picks.
I got the cross last week. I don't know what the heck was going on right here, but I think our Gauntlet season right now is cursed. So I'm about to step
That
out.
was like paranoia activity right there. That was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Well, it is October.
You know, it's taking me a little while to get used to the fact this is Friday.
I promise I wasn't touching nothing.
I'm lounging in my bed,
God.
and next time I look, I'm like, oh, snap, I got to get ready for the Gauntlet. It's Friday, but we here, y'all. What's up? What's up?
Friday Night Lights on me like varsity football.
Absolutely,
we'll be better than the Commanders Bears game. That's
Grizz
for sure.
just say you look like Dr. Doom.
Because that's
I know, right? No, what I was gonna say. I was like, man, JJ coming on here looking like a Sith Lord. He need a lightsaber. He need one of them red lightsabers.
JJ.
I know, right?
Chancellor Jenkins over here.
Right. And he came on with the cross too. I was like, man, is this some Castlevania business going on or what? You know what I'm saying? So, but like to thank everybody for joining us. This is another episode of Gauntlet. What happened, JJ?
What's the matter?
No, you were frozen for a minute, but you're back. You were frozen for a little bit, but you're back.
Okay, all right then. I had no problem. And we do have our cohort Dom. He is on the way. He will be joining us shortly. But I'd like to let everybody know that we are brought to you by Fanatics and where sports fans shop. So
shout out to the Crow Bro. The Crow Bro, Tony, he said that he liked 66% of the hosts.
66.66. Yeah. Don't worry. The one you don't like,
he doesn't like 33%.
Yeah.
Do the math.
He ain't talking. So I know
he ain't talking about me. We talk about big all the time. We talk about Papa. He ain't talking about me.
But I won't reveal it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll just see whenever they come on. But let's get started with the first topic, and that is everyone's favorite, and that is our sports moron of the week. This is anybody who has had the most egregious takes in the sports world for the last week, whatever they said, whatever they did. My crew's gonna call them out. And shout out to our boy Tyler Ingram, man. Just one night, I want him to come out of retirement and join us for one night only. I know he's doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? But I know he got something to say about these fools out here getting on a platform and saying whatever on national TV or radio.
Are you guys
I know
kidding
he got
me?
something for him, man.
Are you guys kidding me?
I am not kidding you. My sports moron of the week is DeMarcus Lawrence. There's not much to be said. I'm going to have a lot to say. We are going to be talking about the Eagles versus the Cowboys later in the show. That was weird. I don't know why JJ just came on here. It must be the power of the Sith Lords taking control of the show tonight. I don't know what's going on with all these crazy technical difficulties and things that are going on. But DeMarcus Lawrence, you're a guy that had 3 sacks last season. You're a guy that has had double-digit sacks twice in an 8-year NFL career. you are running your mouth. You are getting on and saying that Jalen Hurts, who has clearly taken that climb and taken that step and become a better quarterback. He's 7th in the league in passing yards this season, top 5 in completion percentage, tied with Aaron Rodgers at 69% for the season. He is more accurate. He is making better throws. He is seeing the field better. He's reading defenses better. He's doing everything at a much, much higher level than what he was doing last season. And DeMarcus Lawrence, I don't have a problem with another player, Micah Parsons or somebody like that, even though Micah Parsons is very humble guy, and he's not going to go out of his way and put up bulletin board material like DeMarcus has done. But DeMarcus Lawrence, you're a guy that hasn't really had that much success in the league. You're a big name, and you're playing on a big team. The Cowboys are one of the biggest brands in sports, and we have to recognize that. So, but if he was playing on somebody like the Jacksonville Jaguars, nobody would even know who he is because he doesn't do anything. So he's running his mouth. He's putting up bulletin board material. And don't worry, Cowboys, because we're going to see y'all soon. We're going to see y'all soon.
It's crazy you mentioned that because he also was my sports moron. So earlier this week, he was approached. Someone on that Dallas defense was approached. And they were asking, the Eagles offense, are they any good? And they said, well, they haven't played the Cowboys. And insinuating, play us first, and then we'll let you know if they're any good. It's crazy because the Dallas Cowboys have yet to play a real offense. Nobody in the top 10. So just like that'd be like asking Jalen Hurts, are the Cowboys defense any good? Well, they haven't played the Eagles. You know what I mean? So I get it. You hype yourself up, but you might want to think before you. I mean, you can come out there and do a little trash talking. You can say, yeah, they got a really good team and looking forward to see them. That's not going to come out because it's a hated rivalry. I get it. You know what I mean? It's just that what you said, there literally is a direct counterpunch. You know what I mean? Because the Cowboys have not faced the Eagles. They have not faced a rushing attack like that. They have not faced a quarterback like that. You know what I mean? Who's the most difficult quarterback that they faced so far? Stafford, he hadn't looked like himself. Burrow, he's too busy picking himself off the floor. So, I mean, who is it? You're going to run into a buzzsaw this weekend. And if you make it out, then you got the right to talk. But until then, yeah, I ain't got nothing for you.
So I love both my boys, but I will say, Jay, you kind of tripping on that because whether he's picking himself up or not, you can't on one hand recognize Joe Burrow as a top 5 talent and then sit there and say that. So yes, the Dallas Cowboys defense has faced some big time players, which also is a perfect segue because my sports moron is Joe Burrow. After his comments at the end of the game the last night against the Ravens on Sunday night last weekend, where he said, there's not much you can do when you're you're getting like over the top and they're playing you this way. Bro, where was that bravado from last year when you was joking on the fact that you can beat somebody easily because you threw almost 1,000 yards on them? Back yourself up. Give your cojones out there because you got beat on Sunday night and you looked pedestrian. And you look pedestrian against a team that you quote unquote owned. As we said last year, bruh, but you called us morons. We weren't healthy. And now you look like a moron talking about complaining because people are playing you different. You, Joe Burrow, you this dude that everybody thinks is going to be great, figure it out. Patrick Mahomes did, figure it out and stop complaining. And understand this, the road to the division now is coming through Baltimore, and you're going to have to be ready. We ain't giving this back up. You are my moron of the week.
Absolutely, and that does it for Sports Moron. We got the crew back in here, and also would like to let you know that you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and also on Twitter. And if you're a first-time viewer, go ahead and drop that like for your boys. You know what I'm saying? We much appreciate it. Also, we do have a Cash App if you'd like to donate. That's Gauntlet Sports Media, correct, Jimmy?
Yes, sir.
Yep, Gauntlet Sports Media. So we do take donations. Throw a little $5, $10 or something or whatever. We'll take $8. You know what I'm saying? So give us a little something.
I'll take $9 for those 9 runs to fill.
Hey, we might want. I think things are a little expensive on the East Coast. We might want a cup of coffee or something. You know what I mean? We'll take something. It's much appreciated.
Bump that. Drop your check.
Okay, JJ go ask for a little bit more, but it's all good, Hey, we'll take whatever. But we'll go ahead and segue into our player of the week. Appreciate everybody for taking part in the polls on my Twitter and for voting. And our player of the week, the winner of the poll, was linebacker Patrick Willis.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Patrick Willis, and that was Jimmy's pick, by the way. He went
Before we say anything else, I just want to say to all the people that voted for Patrick Willis in the polls, I just want to say one thing. This literally does not work without you guys. Go ahead, Jay.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So who is Mr. Patrick Willis? Well, he went to Ole Miss and he was the number one. He's a first round pick number 11 overall in 2007. He played his entire career with the San Francisco 49ers. He was NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's a 5-time first team All-Pro, a second team All-Pro, a 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL sacks leader. He's in the 2010s All-Decade team. In college, he won the Buckus Award, PFWA All-Rookie team. He's in the San Francisco 49ers Hall of Fame. He was a Buckus Award. Oh, I'm sorry. He's Buckus Award in pro and college, so make that 2-time. He also won the Jack Lambert Trophy, Southeastern Conference Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time first team All-American, 2-time first team All-Southeastern Conference. Total career stats, 950 tackles, 20.5 quarterback sacks, 8 picks, 16 forced fumbles, with 2 defensive touchdowns. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. This dude was, this guy takes me. Yeah, that's a monster. That's a boatload. It takes me back to that defense from the 2011-2012 team that vaunted San Francisco 49ers defense. That JJ's Ravens got by in the Super Bowl. I know it's coming to you. It's coming to you. Don't worry. This dude is one of the last of the big hitters. I remember one hit he laid on Brad Smith that was so nasty. He celebrated before Brad Smith even hit the ground. If y'all don't know which one I'm talking about, it's on YouTube. If you just type in Pat Willis hit, you're going to find it, But it's crazy because I played linebacker back in school and also while I was in the military. And guys like, LT and Mike Singletary and Ray Lewis and Zach Thomas and Pat Willis was up there with him, To be a middle linebacker, you have to be a violent individual. And I mean bad intentions. Horrible for anyone coming across the middle. Stopping the run ice cold and can pick the ball off, And Pat Willis, he exposed that, Much respect to the brother. I'm going to pass it on to Philly Jim. Your thoughts on Patrick Willis?
Yeah, I mean, that was a laundry list of very accomplished football player. He's a guy that, in terms of his NFL career, I think was on a Hall of Fame path, but somewhere along the way, things just didn't go so well with him health-wise. So he hung it up a lot more earlier than people had expected him to. He was a little bit undersized at the position, but he was another case of just having that heart over height, as they say about Allen Iverson in the NBA. I feel like I said it last week, same conversation with Player of the Week. But I got to say, this guy was a beast. This guy was everything in the linebacker position on and off the field, because one thing that I have to rave about is, him being a team captain with the San Francisco 49ers. He was very Ray Lewis-ish in his personality, because he brought that energy and that leadership to the team, and it really made that defense play at a high level.
Yes, yeah. And it's funny you mentioned the undersized linebackers because, 2 of the guys I mentioned, Ray Lewis was like 240, 245, the same size. Yep, and so was Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas was 235, but they had to make up with their lack of size per se because, you look at Ray Lewis and Pat Willis was built the same. Their physiques were monstrous. These guys were like 240, but they looked about 255, 260. So their gym regimen was crazy. They had to bring that onto the field. We're being joined finally by Detroit Dom, and we're talking about our player of the week, Patrick Willis. Your thoughts on him?
Date night Dom.
Somebody has made his team very bad.
Yeah, because I saw that. I saw that back there.
You said. Well, then you said Ray Lewis. You said 240 looked like 255. You want to know why?
Why?
Can you hear me? Is it the internet here
I can
is
hear
so crappy? My computer is so crappy. Okay. Well, you want to know why Ray Lewis looked like he was 255 but only weighed 240 tops? 15-pound
Why?
machete.
Okay.
Okay.
You're
Does
full
that have
of
anything to do with Patrick Willis?
Still stabbing.
You're full of it,
Oh
Dom.
my God.
Here we go.
Patrick Willis.
Oh man.
That's why your butt got
Patrick
muted.
Willis, like for that, what he play? 9 years. He
8
retired
years.
like walking upright and properly.
Yeah, left the game kind of early. Go ahead.
That's it.
Oh, that's all he's
That's all
got
I
on
got.
Pat Wood, I guess. All right. Well, swinging over you
That's all
to
I
you,
got.
JJ.
Ole
Your
Miss.
thoughts on
Ole
I
Miss.
think it's
Is it
awfully
Willis?
funny.
Ole Miss.
I think it's awfully funny. His feed went in and out
Ole
after he
Miss?
tried to make that nice little joke about Ray Lewis. But yes, he did go to Ole Miss because if I believe his last year was the same year or the year after he played with Eli, because they were the two best players on their team at NCAA. I remember. Patrick Willis was the only linebacker that I actually thought was going to be better than Ray Lewis. The only one I thought that was going to be better than Ray Lewis. He was so fast. He was so instinctive. He was just literally a tackling machine. He could pick it off. He could give you a pick. He could sack the quarterback. He was the perfect type linebacker. And at the end of the day, they were a
This
force.
shitty Cincinnati Wi-Fi.
Their games, his impact on that team was unmatched. 7 Pro Bowls, 5 straight All-Pros. The dude was on the way to have, I think he went to a Pro Bowl every year. And despite what people want to say about the things, the Pro Bowls actually mattered when he first came in because the Pro Bowl was given to the best of the best players. And oftentimes he did. But, you know, they didn't always win everything. And he was a very respectful dude after getting almost blown out in a Super Bowl when they really should have. And then they end up losing by that, you know, last minute stand. But funny because at that game I said it's the greatest of our era playing as a middle linebacker against
7.
the other one that is going to be the greatest of this coming era. And it was perfect. So, I love Patrick Willis. I only
Somebody must have said it. 8 years, 7 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pros.
He was on a Hall of Fame path, no doubt.
I mean, that's probably a top 5 for that short of a span linebacker ever for what?
If he plays 4 or 5
7,
more
8
years
year
at
run,
that level, he's in the Hall of Fame.
He's definitely in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he
walked away walking upright,
but at the end of the day,
like Robert Smith.
Let's see. If you look at some of the guys that's been in the Hall of Fame, especially at his position, their All Pros and Pro Bowl nods are like 5 to 6 or 5 to 4 and stuff like that. Sometimes 7 to 8.
Sir Han, yes sir.
But my whole point is, if you've went that far and you got in, I think he has a Hall of Fame resume right now.
7 Pro Bowl, 5 All Pro.
For
sure.
You're going to hold it against him that he didn't play long enough to be in the Hall of Fame or a first ballot Hall of Famer is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying he's like quite to that level.
You know,
what I'm saying to you is
the level of Barry Sanders of linebackers.
What I'm saying to you is this. That's a good comparison, actually.
For that short of a career.
If he plays 4 or 5 more years at the same level that he was at, this isn't even a discussion. He's 1,000% the first ballot Hall of Famer, but because he cut it short early, he won't be.
But I don't think
he'll get in. He'll get in first ballot. I promise.
I can see him getting in first ballot still. I can see him getting in the next first 2 years.
Cincinnati Wi-Fi. Trash.
What year is he going to be eligible?
Cincinnati.
I don't know what his last season was. His last season was
2014.
2014?
2014.
Then he's
eligible after 4 years out of the league.
2014.
Disregard that.
Pretty sure he's got to be eligible.
Yeah, you're eligible 4 years out of the league.
The first 8 years.
I mean, I think down the line he'll make it because, Terrell Davis played 8 seasons, the same amount of time, and he got in. Now, granted, he's a running back.
That was a long time ago,
But
though.
that was also long. Yeah, it was a long time ago, and things are a little bit different
That was
now.
the beginning of that Denver O-line that made everyone a 1,000-yard rusher.
The fact that
Tatum
he
Bell,
accomplished
Mike
that
Bell,
much,
C.J. Anderson, Orlando Scary.
They made everyone a 1,000-yard rusher, but they didn't make everybody a 2,000-yard rusher.
1,000-yard rushing, yeah. But the fact that he did all of that in that short of span, he was drafted in 07, in 2007. So by 3 years later, he's already on a 2010s all-decade team? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm hoping he gets in, but if not for nothing, he's in the Frisco Hall of Fame, and he's in the he's an all-decade team.
And
so,
I didn't even notice it. That 7th year, he only played 6 games. So really, you're talking about 6 years, 5-time Pro Bowler, 6-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro in 6 years.
That San Francisco defensive Ring of Honor is not easy to get into. It's not.
No,
and
it isn't.
They are storied on all sides of the ball. It is not easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that'd be a good time to segue into our next topic. And Dom, take it away.
What's the next topic?
Isn't it the Gauntlet Grinders?
You gotta put. Oh,
it's all good.
Oh, me.
You want to start
Gauntlet Grinders?
Or you want someone else?
No, just the intro. Gauntlet Grinders. Yeah.
Tell them what a Gauntlet Grinder is first.
A Gauntlet Grinder is a spectacular performer, typically, or maybe one from the NFC, one from the AFC. I don't have an NFC one, but AFC, Josh Jacobs again. This man has a bunch more yards than he does kids, but it's close.
Oh, my God.
Have you seen Josh Jacobs' numbers the last 2-3 weeks? Like $120, $130, plus receiving yards. Did they beat someone this past week? San Diego? Los Angeles? Josh Jacobs. NFC, Geno Smith again.
All right. My Gauntlet Grinder from the AFC, Josh Allen. He was my MVP front runner to start the season, and he's amazing. I have a huge respect for that guy. He's a competitor. That team looks great. He looked on fire. And anytime you can make the team I hate the most get embarrassed, I'm always on your side. So Josh Allen is my AFC, my NFC. Interesting. I'm going to go Micah Parsons. Dude is turning into a super monster. He is the front runner, in my opinion, for Defensive Player of the Year. He's getting the attention that the greats are getting, and he is still finding a way. And he is proving to people that he might be that dude. And man, grinds. That was not easy, and he's just coming out on top. So those are my grinders: Josh Allen and Micah Parsons.
Gauntlet Grinder is almost said Jason Kelce, but Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs, 4 touchdown receptions against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Chiefs, they trailed 17-0 in this game and came back to win. They ended up winning 30-29 over the Las Vegas Raiders. So a lot of people were saying that, Patrick Mahomes is rattled. He's not going to be the same quarterback without Tyreek Hill. And what have we been saying the whole time? Travis Kelce is still out there, and he showcased why he's the best tight end in the National Football League with that performance, 4 touchdowns for Travis Kelce against the Raiders.
So this week, I actually have an AFC and an NFC one. So I'm going to go a bit against the grain. And actually, no, I'll just say this one first. My AFC gauntlet grinder is running back Nick Chubb. So in a win versus the Los Angeles Chargers, every time I see LAC, I want to say Los Angeles Clippers. It's funny, but against the Chargers, 30-28, he had 17 carries for 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 7.9 yards per carry. As we speak, this man is only 60 yards ahead of Saquon Barkley for the league in rushing, and he likely will. Well, you know what? I can't even call it right now because if Saquon stays healthy, who knows what can happen. But he actually is my gauntlet grinder. And granted, Nick Chubb has to stay healthy as well. I hope both brothers actually stay healthy, and we just see, two kings going at it. I don't foresee Derrick Henry. I mean, he could have a decent year, but I don't know if he's touching Nick Chubb this year. Chubb is a wrecking ball and has been since day one on the field. Now, I'm going to go against the grain for my NFC gauntlet grinder, and it's going to be the New Orleans Saints quarterback / utility player, Taysom Hill. In a win versus the Seattle Seahawks, 39-32, passing, he was 1 of 1 for 22 yards and a touchdown pass. But rushing, he had 9 carries, 112 yards, 3 touchdown rushes, 12.4 yards per carry. He had 4 total touchdowns. He was instrumental. So just like, with Travis Kelce had the 4 touchdowns, this man had 4 also. Very instrumental in the win versus, and I mean, the Saints, they got Andy Dalton at quarterback. I know they need all the help they can get. But Taysom Hill, definitely my gauntlet grinder. It was a hell of a shootout in the boot with the Seahawks. But Taysom Hill really stepped up to the plate, really grinded it out. So my NFC gauntlet grinder, Taysom Hill. And let's go ahead and get the crew back in here. Finally, Detroit Dom joins us. We also have the Sith Lord, JJ Jenkins. And we got the CEO of Gauntlet Business Incorporated, Philly Jim. So, Dom, take it away to our next topic.
Sponsor? Anybody?
Wait.
Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and hear from our sponsors. We'll be back in like 30 seconds. Just give us a little bit.
Boop.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
And we are back. Yes, we are sponsored by Fanatics. So, yes, most definitely shop and check them out. But, all right, Dom, introduce us to our next topic, man.
Pull it up. Listen, I'm going to apologize to the 3 of you and all of our viewers. I'm slightly intoxicated. I'm 4 hours away from home. Pull up my banner name. What does it say?
It says Cowboys versus Eagles. This man can't read.
No. I saw that.
Look at his posture. He is so relaxed.
I sat in the car for 4
He's
hours.
relaxed enough to be able to not read.
Not be able to read.
Okay.
Is it pick 'em? Are we talking about the game? I told you.
Yes, we're talking about the game, the matchups, all that.
Well, first of all, every time, Dallas Cowboys and the Michigan Wolverines, they're interchangeable. Every time they're good for 5 weeks, they're like, this is the year. Dallas thinks their defense is so good. Look at the offensive rankings of the teams the defense played. None of them were above 20, maybe one. They were all 18 to 22 or worse. Dallas, you're going to learn this week.
Well,
You're going to learn.
So, Cowboys at Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, if you're a betting man, Philly is a 6.5 point home favorite. So
The line
this
started
is-
at 5 and it moved all the way to 6.5.
It did
by the
move
end of
all
the
the way to
week.
6.5. It did. They must have determined that the Eagles were that much better. Now I will say this much: we're actually in for a hell of a Sunday because of our next topic, also. But with our Sunday night football game, this right here, in my opinion, is going to be Cooper Rush's true test right here, because all we've heard is how he's clutch. All we've heard is he's been winning, and he has been winning. He has.
Listen,
Credit to him.
if he wins this game, you just let Dak keep sitting. I would.
You know what? That kind of Jerry Jones wet dream right now.
Dak
but
would not. Dak won't win this game. He's not going to play, but he wouldn't win this game. Cooper Rush wins this game. Dak, get healthy.
Yeah,
Get going.
This
is Dak Tony Romo right now.
I still wouldn't be ready to pull the plug on Dak. Just no.
I wouldn't either.
Care.
$40 million a year.
I don't care what
more years.
I don't care what Gerald Wayne got to say up there. And granted, he runs the team. and granted, I know a lot of people. Oh well, he runs the team and he's the billionaire. Cool. That's exactly why I tell Cowboys fans: as long as he's at the top, he's the Vince McMahon of the NFL. As long as he's at the top, y'all's product is going to stay trash. So with that being said, Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, that defense, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Gerald Wayne gave away their best route runner, which may or may not be the X factor to this game. I mean, I'm gonna say I'm gonna see
I'd be a lot more worried if they had Cooper.
Something exactly. You know what I mean? So something is telling me to take the
Even
under
if they have him, they still wouldn't win.
But something's telling me to take the under at 42. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the. I think I might take the. Actually, screw it. I'll just take the under. But I got the Eagles winning this one. It'll be. I'd say Eagles by 10 points. The true test, like I said, is going to be if Cooper Rush goes down. It's not a situation where you need a field goal to win and the score's tied, or he's down by 1.
Way under 42. 10 points, I'm with you.
The true test is going to be if he's down by 3 scores. Can he will the Cowboys back? We know Dak Prescott can do it, but can Cooper do it? Ask yourself that question.
No. Dak could get you.
Everybody at home, especially the Cowboys fans, ask yourself that question and then ask who's better, Cooper Rush or Dak Prescott. Now let's
get you. Because I know you 18 of those 21 points to come back and lose by 3.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Dak doesn't beat anyone good.
You want me to go or you want Joe to go?
You go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, a lot of what you guys just said,
I'm always last, okay, when Jay's on the mic. I'm always last, so go ahead.
Your last.
Here we go. Got another guy making it about himself. Thought we were a team, but I guess according to JJ, we're not. But anyway, as you guys were saying, the level of quality of the offenses that they played has not been very good. The best offense that they played is the Washington Commanders. And let's face it, the Washington Commanders offense is better on the rankings than it really is because of garbage time. Because Carson Wentz is not doing anything. Against Dallas, he had 50 yards passing and a half. Against Eagles, he had like 20 yards passing in the entire first half. So through 3 quarters against the Eagles, Carson Wentz, he had like 40-something yards passing. So that offense is terrible. And that's the best offense statistically that they face. They are great defensively. They are terrible offensively. I think in this game you're going to see the Dallas offense puts the Dallas defense in a bad situation because Cooper Rush going over against the Philadelphia Eagles defense, keep in mind, they're at the top of the league in takeaways. They turn you over. You got big play Slay in the secondary. You got everyone coming back. Avonte Maddox has been phenomenal playing that slot corner position. He's back this week. James Bradbury has been playing out of his mind. He's got a few interceptions already on the year. So this defense is going to be making plays, and Cooper Rush playing it safe like that, I think they're going to fool him into some turnovers, and I think having a short field like that is going to benefit the Eagles. It's going to put the Cowboys offense in a bad situation because if you turn the ball over and give extra possessions, Cooper Rush is not going to be able to make up for those extra drives that you are giving the opportunistic defense of the Eagles. And then on offense, the Eagles just have to play their game. They just have to stick to the run game, make big plays in the pass game when they're there, when you have to, which Jalen Hurts has showcased this season that he's capable of doing that. Saw against the Arizona Cardinals, Eagles just ran the football down their throats, took 8 minutes off the clock at the end of the football game. That's the style of offense the Eagles play. We're going to run the football. And the Dallas defense, giving up 117 yards a game, they do not stop the run at all. All the credit to their defense. They're not a good defense against the run. The Eagles' greatest strength is the run game. The Eagles are built to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Everyone coming back healthy this week. Eagles are going to handle business at home. Cruise to a 27-13 win over the Cowboys.
Yep, absolutely. That is one Achilles heel with the Cowboys defense is you can run on them. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles, they stop and run. They are way more in takeaways than the Dallas Cowboys this year. That's not sitting here saying that the Cowboys defense, is a slouch. It's not.
They're definitely outstanding defense, but the Eagles,
it's just the Eagles is that much better. But let's swing it on over to JJ and give us your thoughts about this game. If you were a betting man, would you take the over or the under?
Well, first I want to say to James, there's no I in team. I was just making a comment because it is a fact. I usually am the last one. Yeah. So
you were throwing shade.
I'm not throwing shade. It's a fact. I didn't say it was a problem. I'm just saying that Jay waits for me to go last because the best goes last. But I think I got Cowboys to cover because I don't think it's going to be as big of a blowout as everyone on the show is saying.
Right on camera.
I think that it's going to be a victory for Philadelphia, but I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually hit that big lead because division games are so different. We just watched the worst defense in the Houston Texans bottled up an offense that people were saying that was going to be explosive. Granted, they're not the same teams, but the fact that divisional games always pose a type of aura about them, I think that's more of the same here because I think Dallas short. DeMarcus Lawrence said what he said, and they're a prideful defense. I mean, they're making stops. They're beating teams that people thought they couldn't win. So, of course, they're going to have some pride. But I think in this division game, I don't think Cooper Rush is going to win it, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout, and I would take the Cowboys to cover in this game. And I definitely still take the under because I don't think it's going to be one of those 30-point games. I think it's going to be like a 20-17 or a 17-14 where the defenses show up and show out. And I think both quarterbacks will struggle, but Jalen will win.
Fair enough. So we all are picking the Eagles in the end. Let's move on now to the Buffalo Bills taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, we do remember the Chiefs in the Bills playoff game last year. So I guess I'll make my predictions first. So we have the Buffalo Bills coming in as the 2.5-point favorites over Kansas City. It's the first time in the regular season that Mahomes and Kansas City in the Mahomes Andy Reid era that they've been opened as the underdogs. So that's actually pretty crazy when you think about it and the Chiefs' success over the last few years. But this is a game that Buffalo is going to want to make a statement. Buffalo's been playing outstanding football this year. They're looking like the class of the AFC. And this game is about revenge for them. And that's actually something that's going to be, it's obviously a big narrative that's been going on for this week. But you know what I want to say? I just think that when you got to be careful when you're coming into games like this and saying it's a revenge game, because then you kind of lose your focus a little bit. And that's why I actually think the Chiefs are going to win this football game, because the Chiefs are not thinking about, this team beat us, this team did this, that, we're going to make a big statement. Chiefs are just like, listen, they're a great team. We know that. We recognize that. We're playing at home and we got the home crowd behind us. It's a big conference game, but we're calm and relaxed. I just think the Chiefs are a lot more calm and relaxed going into this environment, in this atmosphere in Kansas City. And that's why I think the Chiefs are going to handle the business. The Bills are just going to make this game a little bit bigger than they should.
All right. So I had a little technical difficulties, but I'm back. So Buffalo's favored by 2.5. They're road favorites. Oh, now this is a situation where while I do agree a little bit with what James said. You know, the Bills. Yes, it's a big game, but they got to look at it as this is a game. Okay. If you get so focused on vengeance, you might lose. You may lose focus on winning the game, your ultimate goal. If you set your eyes on the ultimate goal before what's in front of you, you could trip up. Because people had them taking the AFC this year. This Sunday it just may be an AFC Championship game preview. Everyone's been waiting for the rematch. It's going to get hyped up. But that's what the media does. That's what us sports analysts do, or sports journalists do. We sit here and we look at it. We talk about the games beforehand. Now, this is going to be the hardest one to pick, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Buffalo on this one. I think it'll come down to Josh Allen. It may be a key stop. And sure, the Chiefs could score. They could very well score 35 on them. But it may be that one key stop that gets Josh Allen the ball back with 2 minutes left to play, and then that right there will be his moment. If I'm a betting man, I'm definitely taking the over at over 54 points. So I expect a shootout. I'm gonna say Buffalo 41, Kansas City 38. JJ?
Oh, okay. I'm going to take the Kansas City line here because I think that what Buffalo wants to do defensively works right in the hands of the type of team Kansas City is now. Buffalo doesn't like to let you get to beat them deep. And a lot of that has to stem from last year getting beat deep to eventually lose the game. And that, of course, AFC divisional round. The Chiefs don't hit the big play as much as they used to last year, but they work the field. They use, Juju in the intermediate routes. They use Travis Kelce to get him out, to get into the middle of those zones to do his thing. So they're going to move it up and down with them. And I'm only speaking just from seeing how we played them. The Chiefs have the capability to do the similar thing that we do. The only difference is when they get to the red zone, they have more weapons than we do. So I think Kansas City is going to come out on top because their offensive line is better. They don't get sacked, and Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback at just taking what the defense gives. Mind you, he had to figure that out last year when teams were doing that to him at the beginning to start the season last year when they scored. So I got the Kansas City Chiefs win this game, but I'm taking the money line on this. And a part of me really wants to take the under on the 54 because I see this as like a 27-24 or 28-21 type game. So I think the defenses are both much improved. I think it's going to cause some problems for both quarterbacks, even though they're going to be looking really great.
Fair enough.
All right. Dom?
Under. Bills, like way lower scoring than you think. 21-17.
You only got Kansas City scoring 17 points? Wow.
That's a statement for Buffalo's
defense. How good that Bills defense is. Like,
if that happens.
The Bills roster is the best in the league by far, other than Philly. Green Bay, but not really. Philly's roster is almost as good. Bills is better.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't got a problem with you saying that.
I'll agree with that.
I mean, it's neck and neck as of right now, But, I mean, you only got KC scoring 17 points. I mean, that's going to be the talk of the town come next week if that Bills defense holds Mahomes to only 17 points.
I don't think they will.
You know who the last team to stop Patrick Mahomes from throwing a touchdown was?
Wasn't it the Raiders? No, the Lions. It was the Lions.
And
It
we
was the
still
Detroit
lost.
Lions, and you still lost the game. Yep.
And now the Lions are scoring
It was the
45 and
Lions
still
because
losing.
why would Don bring it up? I knew it was the Lions.
And they still lost though.
What if I told you your team stopped Patrick Mahomes from throwing a touchdown and you still lost? You'd be like, oh, the Lions?
Lions
Correct.
going.
He ain't lying.
If it had been any other team, right? If it had been any other team, it's like, oh, they sure as hell won the game. If it was like the Bills, if it was the Packers, you stop oh yeah, y'all definitely won the game. But because it's the Lions, you gotta ask, but did you win?
What if I told you there was 6 games you knew just because of a flag or a rule misinterpreted? Like, oh, you're a Lions fan? Catch rule, batted ball,
Yeah.
10-second runoff, Hail Mary.
Them picked up flags versus the Cowboys.
We lost to St. Louis.
Yeah, picked up. I didn't even say that. That's 6 or 7 right there.
We lost to the 10-second runoff too. St. Louis.
What game was that?
Go away.
LA 2015.
Go away. Go away. You have 2 Super Bowls from a team you stole.
We didn't steal anything. We just decided to leave.
Are you winning, son? Lions? Nope.
We won a playoff game when I was 11. I'm 42.
We have
That's funny. T.I. in the building. What's up, Tyler?
Not at all.
Yeah,
exactly.
Girl dad in the house.
Okay,
if you
we got to regroup ourselves.
on your roster in fantasy football, if you can, whoever the 1 or the 2 against, like, start them every time. That's the number 1 rule in fantasy for 20 years.
Okay,
1.5 years, we had a good run defense.
Let's move on to our next topic real quick. Let's get our thoughts real quick on what we've seen in the NFL this week. Controversial roughing the passer call. We saw first one against Tom Brady against Atlanta Falcons. Second one, Derek Carr. Chris Jones hits Derek Carr. That gets a roughing the passer call. Just real quick, I mean, what do you guys really expect to see? This is an emotional reaction to player safety, what we saw with Tua and the Dolphins handling of the whole situation. The league really wants to cover themselves, in my opinion. So that's why we're seeing them be like even more, aggressive with these terrible roughing the passers calls. So honestly, I feel like the NFL is already very serious about protecting players before the Tua situation happened. And now that it's happened, they're just going completely crazy. They're going completely off the rails now. The NFL is not going in a good direction with this. The Players Association, I think, needs to get involved and try to figure out a solution, because the pace we're going at with all these rule changes and protecting players, and, you might as well play in bubble wrap. You might as well play flag football, because that's where the league's going to be within the next 10 years if this continues.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at both those plays. I'm like, do you expect the pass rusher just go and just shove them really hard? That's it? Like, is that what it's going to come to? I've always felt this way, is quarterbacks are football players too, okay? Tom Brady is not Doug Flutie size. That man is 6'4", 230.
He's also 70 years old.
And he's the same size. And you know what? Here's the thing. You get on that field, you're a football player. Bottom line, you get on that field, you are a football player. Ray Lewis said it, and I know
That's a really good point,
JJ, I know JJ remembers this. He's a man. He can be hit, right?
Listen.
Yeah. He's in that pocket. He can be hit.
And I'm old as hell. Tom Brady is what, 3-4 years older than me? 3 years older? He's 45, right?
Yeah.
Out there getting hit. Like, come on. But however,
it's his choice.
Go ahead, JJ.
He's the one who wants to
JJ. It is.
I was getting ready to say what James said. I mean, he's out there, so that's his choice. So he probably thinks now I should probably retire. There's a reason why Father Time always wins. And I mean, at the end of the day, I can't help but laugh. But at some point, I think things will get a little bit better, because this reminds me of how egregious the flopping was. The flopping is still egregious in NBA, but remember at one point in time in the early, like the 2010s, it just got bad. Like, it just got really bad. Marcus Smart getting flying.
Anderson Varejao.
So it's like, yeah, so like, but they're still going around, but it's not as crazy as you see those. And I think that's kind of where it is right now. And I think Mike Oxidine on Facebook, shout out to him, made a kind of a good point. He's like, this is just a reaction to a reaction caused by media and fans because of how they handled the Tua situation. So, of course, we live in an overreactionary world, or a very impulsive world. I knew this was coming. I think everyone knew this was coming because whatever. The problem is you're making judgment calls based off momentum. The momentum of both plays and Tua's situation is what caused these issues. And it's not something you can control because you can't control the rate of momentum that's leading to somebody's body yank a certain way. That's why it's rough. And so I don't know. It's just going to be what it is.
Thank you, Tyler. Sideshow Bob, also known as Anderson Varejao.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Yeah, so overall, it's really just not that good for the league, guys. I think we all agree with that at least. But non-sports topic, we are going to be talking about. It's technically is a sports topic, but it's a non-NFL sports topic. So your favorite coach, and you can pick a coach from any of the sports films. I'm gonna go with my boy Coach Boone, and I'm not just picking him because I love Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is my favorite actor, but I love Coach Boone's character, and he has so many great one-liners, and he just reminds me of some of the coaches that I was actually around when I was playing varsity football back in high school. My favorite is when the player Blue asked to take the water break, and he's like, water break? Water is for washing that blood off my uniform, and you damn sure don't get no blood on my uniform. We are going to do up downs until Blue is no longer tired and thirsty. That is one of my favorite moments from Remember the Titans. Coach Boone, he had that tenacity as a coach, had so many classic one-liners, so I'm going with Coach Boone for mine.
You drop a pass, you running a mile. That's my joint. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Tony D'Amato from Any Given Sunday. This dude. We'll split it. We'll split it. I'll do mine short.
No, just go ahead.
Not like him.
It's okay.
The way that he was in that film is how we wish other coaches would be to Jerry Jones. You know, like he was just there, like, no, I'm running the team my way, and what was it? Cameron Diaz's character was all like, no, you're gonna run it this way, and such and so. He had so much going on it, but and he was just this grizzled. He was a coach, but he was just this grizzled old veteran. Even in the era of like the new. I wonder if not to compare it to the Patriots or anything like that, because Belichick and Robert Kraft most of the time on the same page, except when it came to Tom Brady, but he's like that, 30-year veteran, 40-year veteran, or whatever head coach that's still, doing it his way, and he's hard-nosed about it. He's like, I run my team. No one's going to tell me how to run my team. You hire me as a coach. Let me be a coach, But even still, that movie was just ensemble cast, star-studded. And J.D. Fox got knocked out on the set. That's what's hilarious, But yeah, D'Amato's mine. JJ, you?
Coach Boone, in the sense of, I always loved that movie, and I always loved him more the persuasion because my dad's best friend went to T.C. Williams at that time, and the guy Denzel did absolutely amazing, and I appreciate him for that. But one of my favorite memories, just because it was a tense situation, but it was like the situation that gave the understanding between Yost and Boone is that right after the night where Denzel's house got through the brick with, where Coach Yost's daughter was watching film with him, they had that little conversation, and Coach Yost was sitting there saying, of course, defending his kid, like when something happens with my kid involved, then it becomes a problem. And then Denzel says, welcome to my life. Now you get a taste of what my girl goes through. It was one of those things like, now you see that we are not against you, and the people that you really care about and you fight for it, they are doing this to people that you have a respect for. It was just a moving movie, and Boone has always been the one that I wish I had a coach like that. I did too. I wish I had a coach like that. Probably would have knocked myself into some sense because I didn't want to do none of the laps and stuff, but I did it.
Dom?
Well, you stole mine for one. For two, when's the last time you watched Any Given Sunday? Because me, coincidentally, like 2 days ago.
I haven't watched it for a while.
I haven't watched it for a while neither, but we all remember.
The other thing you forgot was Jesse Spano.
Jesse Spano?
That
From Saved by the Bell.
Oh.
Showgirls.
Yeah, okay.
Any Given Sunday. Oldest Profession. Al Pacino.
Yep.
you should
Gotta
do
love
it.
that movie because of the speech. The speech is about to end.
She's from
one of the best
Farmington
speeches of all time.
Hills. She's from one town away from me.
So Dom, question for you: Al Pacino
Answer's
or
no.
Al Pacino or Robert De Niro?
I'm not picking. Pull the trigger. De Niro. It's close. No. Yeah, you
kinda
can't say
like,
the one A.
I kind of like Tyler's pick. Tyler says he's going with Chubbs from Happy Gilmore. It counts. I'm counting that as well, even though it's not a typical sports movie people think of. That movie is, Happy Gilmore is a sports film, technically speaking. And Chubbs was the man. Like
Grizzly Adams did have a
you had
beard.
to love that guy. And then what happened to him in the movie, it was so sad. And then Happy ended up winning and
Got
being
that
more motivated.
bastard's eye. Oh, you're pretty sick, Chubbs.
Bro, Chubbs is a legend.
Green jacket,
I like
gold
his
jacket. Who gives a?
Bro, don't disrespect
can't
Happy
cuss.
Gilmore. That film is goated for real.
Happy Gilmore?
This is what Adam Sandler
Hang on.
Adam Sandler started fighting Bob Barker, and he was like,
Saw that in the
"Price is
theater.
wrong, bro. Like, get out of here." That was
Saw
hilarious.
that in the theater. And Waterboy, and at least one other.
Why are you
Adam
dissing all the
Sandler
great
movie.
Adam Sandler movies?
I'm not dissing. I said
You don't
it's
like-
in the theater. In the
Well, you don't
theater.
like-
Okay.
You don't like Adam Sandler.
No, you're right. I don't like Adam Sandler. I love Adam Sandler.
Waterboy was my favorite.
Yes, that's the other one. Saw that in the
Next
theater.
non-sports
for
topic
sure.
we should do is best Adam Sandler film.
And Billy Madison.
Man. Billy
be
Madison is
amazing.
my favorite.
No.
Billy Madison is my
Waterboy's
favorite.
better.
He was in kindergarten with them kids.
Man, when he put the bag of doodle and
Spanish
The
motto.
Penguin, bro. Like, no one can forget the Penguin.
yes, the Penguin tooth man. That film, yeah, that definitely.
I think it's the one with the
Woo! Special guest appearance from T.I. coming soon, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Do not miss
Damn it.
it.
He wasn't supposed to say. He wasn't supposed to say anything.
Well, he just ruined it, so I guess boo him.
Tyler can't keep a
Kidding.
secret.
Kidding. Now
So
everyone
who
knows. But
coming on.
anyway, guys, that's pretty much what we have time for tonight. Make sure you guys tune into the rest of the great shows that we have on the Sideline Sports Network. You can catch the Sports Arena on Monday and Wednesday nights. You can catch Sideline Sports on Tuesday nights. You can catch Pundits on Wednesday nights. So many great shows that you guys should be watching. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out all the great work from all the great people that we have going on here. And of course, we love and appreciate everyone who continues to support the Gauntlet and the Four Horsemen movement, Gauntlet Sports Media, and everything. We will see you guys on the next episode.
Good night from Cincinnati.